Hi, my name is Pablo Zabaleta and I welcome you to this Chapter 5, Design of Goods and Services video. We are referring to Chapter 5 of the Heizer and Render book. So, let's start with our outline. We will be covering here the product definition, life cycle, and the relationship between life cycle and strategy. How do we extend the life cycle? What is the quality house, which is a tool that we have that helps us correlate our capabilities and the client's needs. We will continue with all that covers value engineering, robust design, modular design, time-based competition, what is the importance of the documentation, and finally, what is the moment of truth, that pivotal moment in time when the relationship with the client is put to test. So let's start first by saying, as a background, that any organization, it doesn't matter if it's in the private or in the public sector. It doesn't matter if it's a governmental or non-governmental, if it's for profit or non-profit. Any organization's existence rests in the product or service that they provide to society. And now, today, either that product or service is excellent, and sometimes even a little bit more, or the organization's demise is certain. We are not competing against your neighbor. You're competing against the world. And the world is not settling for anything less than excellence. So, what is a product? Yes, we have discussed previously that the border between tangible and intangible products is being erased. So now we need a definition of product. And a product, we will define it as something that we can do and that meets the needs of our customers. Now, what are the influencing factors that we have for making this product? Well, first of all, change. Be it economic, people, technology, political, legal, whatever, learning. All those factors affect us in our capability to deliver a product. So let's try to understand first the product's life cycle. We will put two axes on one time, and the other one we will be using either money or number of units. Sales is represented with a green curve. As you can see, it grows first throughout the introduction phase. Then we have the growth phase, then we have maturity, and finally we have decline. Now, what happens simultaneously to these points in time that make up the sales curve? With costs. Costs tend to be higher than sales at the beginning. And then the relationship changes as we go into maturity and in decline until we finally get costs higher than sales again towards the end of the decline. This has some implications. We must know when to invest and we must know when to kill a product. The revenue is expressed here with the yellow curve, and we have our break-even point in black. Now, as you can easily see from your financial lessons, this area is negative cash flow. And if I recall the words of a wise professor who said to me, happiness is a positive cash flow. Okay, so happiness should be in the green area over there, but not so much. Why? Because there's a difference between profits and losses, even if it is a positive cash flow. What we need to achieve is profits. And finally, towards the end of our life cycle for the product, we have losses again. So what is the relationship, now that we have seen this curve, between strategy and the product's life cycle? Well, first, during the introduction phase, we must invest heavily in research and development and developing the suppliers and the distribution channels. So the complete process that we have outlined before regarding the suppliers, transformation and distribution, during the introduction phase, suppliers and the distribution are the two topmost that we need, and research and development in order to develop further our product and to start to prepare ourselves for the growth phase, where we have to focus on capacity, being able to attend to all our clients' demands. In the maturity phase, the emphasis changes towards cost control, precisely because that's where we're generating our profits. And in the phase of decline, that's where we must tend to eliminate any product that is not contributing strongly. However, there are products that, even though they do not contribute directly to our profit margins, they are needed because they embody an image of the organization. For example, aspirin for Bayer is a must, even if they lose a lot of money with it. It doesn't matter. Why? Because it's a synonym. Bayer, aspirin. You can have clinics for facial tissues or some other relationships that you know of. Now, if we have all these relationships in mind, how can we extend the life cycle of a product? Well, one way is to introduce new products that replace it, and we introduce them in the correct moment, and we thereby create a larger maturity phase for our product. Another is just to prolong that product's phase. For example, we can search for new markets, and the same product, then we keep on selling it and we maintain it in that maturity phase. Our lesson will continue in the next video.